If you are thinking about starting a side hustle this week, seriously, close the extra tabs in your mind for a minute. Do not register that business name yet. Do not order that logo. Do not tell your friends you are about to launch something big. Not until you hear this. Because most people in the United States do not fail at side hustles because they are lazy or incapable. They fail because they start emotionally and manage logically later. And by the time logic shows up, they are already frustrated. There is one mindset shift that determines whether your side hustle becomes an asset or another abandoned idea. We are going to unpack that fully. Right now, you might be between 18 and 35. Maybe you are working a 9-to-5 job that pays the bills but does not excite you. Maybe you are in college staring at tuition numbers and wondering how you are going to get ahead. Maybe you are simply tired of feeling financially stuck. A side hustle feels like the answer. More income, more freedom, more control. But let me ask you something uncomfortable. If your current life feels chaotic, do you really think adding another responsibility will automatically fix it? Stay with me here, because this is where clarity begins. A side hustle is not just extra money, it is extra decisions, extra deadlines, extra problem solving, extra rejection, extra delayed gratification. If you are not mentally prepared for that reality, motivation will fade fast. Now, this does not mean do not start. It means prepare properly. Before you even choose the model, you need to understand your capacity. Capacity has 3 parts: time capacity, energy capacity, financial capacity. Let us break those down. Time capacity means you can consistently dedicate at least 5 to 7 focused hours per week. Not random scattered minutes, real blocks of time. Energy capacity means you are not already operating at burnout levels. If you are exhausted every single night, your side hustle will suffer. Financial capacity means you are not betting your rent money on an untested idea. Early stages should be low cost and low risk. Pause and evaluate yourself honestly. If you do not have these 3 capacities yet, the smartest move is not to quit the idea. It is to build capacity first. Maybe that means fixing your sleep. Maybe it means reducing one unnecessary expense to create breathing room. Maybe it means improving time management before adding new commitments. This preparation phase is invisible but powerful. Now let us talk about expectations. One of the biggest reasons beginners quit is timeline distortion. They see a success story online and assume that is the average path. In reality, a beginner side hustle in the United States often produces very little income for the first few months. Month 1 might produce $0. Month 2 might produce $100. Month 3 might produce $200. That feels slow. But slow does not mean broken. Here is the mindset shift I mentioned earlier. You are not starting a side hustle to make money next month. You are starting a side hustle to increase your earning power long term. Those are different goals. If your only motivation is immediate cash, you will panic at the first slow month. If your motivation is skill acquisition and leverage, slow months become training. Let that settle in. Now let us get practical about choosing the right path. Most side hustles fall into 3 buckets. You either sell a service, sell a product, or build attention. Selling a service is usually the fastest path to income because businesses and individuals already spend money to solve problems. For example, small businesses need help with scheduling software, customer communication, basic content creation, bookkeeping, website updates, appointment setting, and local marketing. These are not glamorous tasks, but they are valuable. If you help a local business increase revenue by $1,000 per month, paying you $500 per month becomes logical. That is how service-based income works. Selling a product takes longer because you must create demand, build trust, and handle marketing. It can scale, but it requires patience. Building attention through content can become powerful over time, but it often requires 6 to 12 months of consistent output before meaningful income appears. Here is where most beginners mess up. They choose the path that sounds exciting, not the path that fits their current situation. If you need income within 6 months, service-based may be smarter. If you have savings and enjoy creating, content might make sense. But choose intentionally. Now let me challenge you with something deeper. What type of problems are you willing to solve repeatedly? Income is directly connected to problem solving. People pay to reduce stress, save time, increase revenue, improve health, or gain convenience. If your idea does not clearly connect to one of those outcomes, it will struggle. Look around your own environment. In your workplace, what tasks does your boss complain about? On campus, what services do students struggle to find? In your neighborhood, what businesses have outdated systems? Opportunity hides in plain sight, and here is a bonus insight specifically for beginners in the United States. Start hyperlocal before you go digital global. Instead of competing with thousands of freelancers online, identify 10 businesses within driving distance. Offer a clear, measurable solution. For example, instead of saying I do marketing, say I help local restaurants increase weekday traffic through targeted email campaigns. Specific language builds trust. Now let us address money and investment. In the beginning, your job is validation. Can someone exchange real money for your solution? Until that happens, keep expenses minimal. Do not confuse buying tools with building income. You do not need expensive software to start basic services. You do not need a perfect website to sign your first client. You need conversations. Outreach is uncomfortable, but revenue lives on the other side of outreach. This is another reason many people quit. They prefer designing logos over talking to potential customers. Design feels safe. Outreach feels risky. But growth requires risk tolerance. Take a breath and think about this. If you are unwilling to handle rejection, entrepreneurship will feel painful. Rejection is data, not identity. Now let us talk about runway. Before starting, decide how long you will commit before judging success. 3 months is often too short for meaningful traction. 6 months is more realistic. 1 year is powerful. If you define this up front, slow weeks will not shake you as easily. Imagine committing to 6 months of focused effort at 6 hours per week. That equals roughly 150 hours. 150 hours applied strategically can produce real skill and initial income. But only if you do not quit at hour 30. Let me bring in a realistic income picture, so you are grounded. A beginner service-based side hustle might grow like this. First 3 months, $0 to $300 per month. Months 4 to 6, $300 to $700 per month, if consistent. Months 7 to 12, potentially $800 to $2,000 per month depending on skill and demand. These are not guarantees. They are possibilities with effort. And remember, this is supplemental income. If you earn an extra $1,000 per month by year 1, that is $12,000 per year. $12,000 can accelerate debt payoff, build investments, or create emergency security. But it requires patience. Now here is the beginner mistake I want to warn you about clearly. Do not start 5 side hustles at once. You do not need multiple streams of income on day 1. You need one focused stream that works. Scattered focus leads to scattered results. Choose one lane for at least 90 days. Track your effort. Track your outreach. Track your revenue. Adjust based on data. That is how adults build income. Let us zoom out for a moment. The reason I am telling you not to start until you watch this is simple. Impulse creates noise. Strategy creates results. You do not need another exciting idea. You need a system, capacity, clear problem, realistic expectations, defined runway, focused execution. If you build those foundations first, your probability of success increases dramatically. And here is something encouraging. Even if your first model does not succeed long-term, the skills you build will not disappear. Communication, negotiation, time management, marketing awareness, client management. These increase your value in the job market too. Your main income can rise because of your side hustle discipline. That is leverage. Now imagine the opposite. You start impulsively, quit in 3 months, feel discouraged, tell yourself you are not cut out for business. That story becomes dangerous. Because it was not a failure of ability, it was a failure of preparation. So here is your move. Take 1 week before starting anything. Audit your time. Stabilize your schedule. Choose one model aligned with your situation. Define a 6-month runway. Set a realistic income goal like $500 per month by month 6. Keep costs low. Start local if possible. Track everything. Then start. Start imperfectly, but start intentionally. Because done right, a side hustle can realistically add $500 to $2,000 per month over time in the United States. That changes savings rates. That increases investing capacity. That reduces stress. That creates options. Let us recap clearly. Do not start until you check your capacity. Do not start without defining your runway. Do not start without identifying a real problem. Do not start with unrealistic income timelines. Do not scatter your focus. And once you do start, Commit long enough to collect real data. If this perspective shifted how you think about building extra income, subscribe to the Side Hustle Lab. This channel is built for people in the United States who want practical, grounded, realistic strategies to increase income without hype or fantasy. We are not chasing overnight success. We are building long-term earning power. Plan first, then execute. And when you finally launch your side hustle, you will not be guessing. You will be ready.